Hi everyone, my name is Victoria. I'm in Peter's class. I came to Canada like 2 years ago. Then I'm still learning English. So I'm in grade 10 academic English right now. I just finished learning Romeo and Juliet. So today we're going to talk about Romeo and Juliet. There are lots of detail I will add more on. So first of all, Romeo and Juliet is really ridiculous and it's not funny. It's about like 13 years old child like, get married and have sex. Um, well, I don't like this part and I don't like this book too.
Understandably, and there's so much more in that book not to like,
Yeah.
to dislike. In your class, what was the message about Romeo and Juliet? Was there any message?
Well, my teacher told me Romeo and Juliet tell us like this is a love story and the two like they fall in love with each others. So it's really nice story, but I don't think so because Romeo is a boy, I think maybe 14 years old, and he always talk about like who is more beautiful, and in the whole play you will see there are lots of talking about women pretty and they don't care about
Right.
inside.
Lots of talk about women's appearance.
Pretty. Yeah.
Being pretty, right. The text is full of references to looking and eyes and appearances, ears, face, legs. Yeah, and lots of bad sex jokes.
Yeah, I know. It's I think this one is not suitable to like written English, and I don't think our student can learn from it. So it's not a good choice.
Right. I think it could be taught, but it must be taught critically, as not pretending it's a beautiful love story with a sad, tragic ending. I don't think Shakespeare intended it to be read that way.
Mm-hmm.
Right. To me, it makes no sense to have a lot of rich, even royalty in a theater.
Yeah.
All British, all white men mostly. And do we really imagine that they will feel sorry for teenage Italians?
No.
I don't either. Right. Italy has a long history of ruling Britain. First, the Roman Empire conquered England, and then the Roman Catholic Church ruled England.
Mm-hmm.
Why would they care for Italians? They would hate them.
I know. Yeah, that's true. And the second point I want to say is about parents. So, my teacher always told me like Romeo's parents and Juliet's parents are good parents. I don't know why, because my teacher told me that Juliet's parents, they care about Juliet and they don't want Juliet feel very sad about people that died. That's why they make Juliet get married earlier. Well, you know what? Like,
wonderful. Imagine if your cousin died and your mother said, "We have someone you must marry tomorrow."
Yeah, and like you marry can make you happy. Well, I don't know. That's not true.
It's a stranger.
Yeah, it's strange. It's very strange.
Plus, Paris is a stranger. She doesn't know him.
Yeah.
And what does Juliet's mother say about Paris? What are his good qualities?
Like he's handsome and he has lots of money and he will care about you.
Right.
Like enough stuff.
Now, we all need money, and sometimes good looks means health, but really, this is kind of disgusting.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. What about his personality?
I never know about parents' personality. You know what? When parents come, like he always asks Montague.
Yeah. Yes. Sorry.
Uh,
Sorry. Juliet's father is Capulet.
yeah, he always asks Capulet like, Mr. Capulet, when I can marry your daughter? Only when? Like he doesn't care anything. He doesn't care about society. He doesn't care about what happened. He just care like, Mr. Capulet, when I can marry your daughter? Only one thing. So I don't know.
As soon as possible. And he says, I think at the beginning of the play, Capulet says she's a little bit too young. Of course, he changes his mind later.
Mhm.
But he also says, sorry, Paris responds saying, sure, but girls younger than Juliet have been mothers before.
Yeah, that's more ridiculous. Like 13 years old girl, they're not grow up yet. So there's still a child, but wow, you know, uh,
So,
it's Shakespeare fault. I don't like Shakespeare, so
right. No, I don't think Shakespeare was recommending that children at that age would marry and have children. I think his goal was to make Italy look ridiculous.
I think so.
Yeah, especially the Italian ruling class.
Mm-hmm.
Now, by the way, my daughter did some research and she discovered that uh, in the past, teachers did argue about this play
Oh,
and said it's not suitable for the classroom.
yeah.
But somehow we have forgotten that discussion, and now all the teachers think it's a great play.
Well, it's in this age about grade 10 student, like they can easily fall in love, and I know that part. But Romeo and Juliet, they fall in love like not in 1 hour, and they kiss each other's, and they want to get married. No.
Yes, yes. And as you pointed out, they already had sex. What's the
Yeah.
evidence for that?
Sorry.
What is the evidence for them being together secretly and having sex?
Uh, they meet in the backyard, and Romeo went to Juliet's house, like I love you so much, and
Yes.
Juliet said like I'm not that easily person to let you have me. So like if you really love me, I will send my server go to your house or find you, like get married. And that is part like so easy to get married, and they just after party, and they just meet in the backyard, and they just kiss a lot of times. Yeah,
Mm. You mean in the backyard or in her room?
in the backyard, I think.
Yeah, I'm not sure anymore. I think Romeo may have gone up the rope. Remember, there was a rope that he could.
Oh yeah, yeah. You're right.
So I guess if you want to block the bad story, you pretend that nothing happened. But of course, the Shakespeare
Yeah.
is implying the worst. So very good. Do you have any other points or questions?
And the other points is about like this. When we saw movies about like Romeo and Juliet, I feel nothing bad on it. It's really a good love story in the movies when like we saw them. But in that really that time, and if I was in the really like same situations, I won't think this is a good story or good play. And Romeo and Juliet, they all die at the end of uh the scene, I think, the end of book.
Yeah.
So it's not good end, but the main point is people they fall in love, they can have lots of choice. And in this book, they like the people are argue about woman's face, woman's bodies, and they fighting with each others, and they don't care about like how people growing up. They just care about like you're 13, you can have babies, you will be a mom. So it's not human can do these lots of things. I think people are still growing, so people are still changing. I mean, this book is not really suitable for the grade 10 student, but well, I don't know.
Well, so you enjoyed some of the Hollywood versions of this play?
Yeah, I do.
Because you're still young.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't enjoy them, and I personally feel that we have a kind of obsession with loving one person. It's become a kind of virus, I think.
Yeah.
All our cultures so obsessed with this, and what you probably experienced this in high school when there's a couple, they forget about their friends. We also forget about everything, the whole world.
Yeah.
People, and we don't use our brains anymore. It's just, oh, that girl I love, or that boy I love. And I think it's very unhealthy.
Well, I say like when I was in China, this one happens a lot because I finished grade 11, then I came to Canada, right? So, grade 10 and grade 11 students, they like to do that, like fall in love. They enjoy that part. They enjoy that moment. Well, my friends always like have boyfriend a lot, and the other friends have a lot of different girlfriend. I always tell them like, whatever you're doing, but right now, you need to learn. Like even you have boyfriend or girlfriend, you still need to learn because you guys can like step by step and be more better than each others and not just stay there like just enjoy that feel. So I mean, if you like, love is a good thing. I mean, like
It is, but it
it's a
should
really
be
good thing. But you cannot make it like very sexy. Always think about sex or always think
right.
about like your
Jealousy.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when you love one person and you put all your mind and heart into one person, you start to worry, what if I lose this person?
Yeah.
But if you love many people, if you love the world, life, you feel much more free. No worries. Anyway, we're going a little bit off topic. We're going into psychology. I believe you have some questions for me.
Yeah. Do you know how we can like stop reading Romeo and Juliet?
How we can stop? We must protest. I don't know. I am doing my best to teach my students and everyone why they shouldn't read Shakespeare, waste their time. But I don't know. You can quit school and teach yourself.
Okay.
Just come to my website. Pardon?
I will try.
Yeah. No, do you remember the questions we prepared for this show?
I think so.
Do you have them there?
Yeah.
Okay. Could you read the first one?
Do you think it's necessary to read Shakespeare in the original Elizabeth English?
Yeah. Well, what do you think?
No.
Well,
I'm from
ahead.
China, so 我们可以用中文来讲这个 right? We can speak Chinese or Japanese. 私たちはこの本が読んでいます。なので、we can speak different language, right?
Yeah.
So I think. What do you think?
I agree. I can also speak a second language, and I know it's easy to translate.
Yeah.
So why do we need to use this old Elizabethan English? And it makes perfect sense in modern English. The
Mhm.
translation, we have very skilled people, they know our languages. So we lose almost no meaning.
Yeah.
And we save so much time and suffering.
Yes.
And especially nowadays in the West, we have many immigrants, many students who are ESL.
Yeah.
Just
Like me.
precisely. So it's cruel to force such students into
Hmm.
a kind of English.
You're right.
Oh,
Uh, the second one, is the play realistic? Is this show Italians behave in the past?
I absolutely don't think it's realistic. I have heard some teachers claim that in Italy, uh, in the past, people did marry at young ages. Um, Absolutely, that's true. However, not the upper class. They lived comfortable, easy life. And
Yeah.
they were not in a rush to marry, unlike the lower classes. If you have a daughter, perhaps you want to quickly get rid of her and get some, I don't know what, or marry a young man. I don't know why they did it, that, honestly, but it was common.
Yeah.
The upper class, no way.
Well, I think that too. Yeah, I agree with that. Like, uh, it's not realistic, and my mom told me like she has Italian friends, and they're really nice, and they won't do something like this, like very cruel thing, like they kill people. No.
You're right. Now, the Italians do have a reputation, and there's a stereotype of being very sociable, perhaps aggressive socially, and also in romance, perhaps. Um, but we expect better from Shakespeare. He shouldn't be creating the stereotype and making it even worse.
Yeah. We turn to number three. Do you think Shakespeare portrayed any of Italian servants in this play as honorable, respectable people?
Honorable, what's the other word?
Respectable.
People, the servants.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You know, usually we ignore the servants in these plays,
Mm-hmm.
and Shakespeare didn't give them important roles because he doesn't care about servants, and
Yeah,
his didn't.
one of the servants like they 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 didn't know even how to read the English.
Yeah, and his boss Capulet didn't realize this.
Yeah, that's true. I know
Shakespeare
why.
is yeah. So Shakespeare makes him look stupid, makes the servant look stupid. Um, that was his intent. That was his intention. It's a form of low humor. It's not a tragic romance. The whole thing is, I call it a grotesque comedy.
Yeah, I agree with that.
All right.
And turn to four. Are the parents realistic? Are modern parents better?
Ooh, it sounds like almost a question for you. Our
Yeah. I don't like the parents of both of them, and they're selfish, and they are ridiculous. They're not care about their child. You know, one like detail of the Romeo's father, and he asked Benvolio, like where is your cousin? Like where is where is he? You be a father, you didn't care about your son, only ask the other person to like communication with your daughter, with your son. That is I don't like that one. And for right now, I love my mom so much. Um, I don't know because my mom came to Canada about like 6 years ago, I think. So so like she changed a lot. Before she in the China, she was crazy. and she don't let me do anything like dye my hair. My hair is green actually, and she don't. And I cannot make up. I cannot wear beautiful dress. You know, in China, there have lots of parents like they think you need to study. But my mom changed a lot, so it's for different people. They change different ways. It depends where you are, like what environment you're in, right?
Okay, so in China, your mother was very controlling.
Yeah,
I would say maybe Capulets. The Capulets are quite controlling.
yeah, it's kind of same.
Um, of course, there's the very cruel moment when Capulet is so angry, he says to Juliet, if you don't marry Paris,
Go, yeah, get out.
you
So
are not.
this happened to me, like to, and I mean like lots of Chinese parents are different. Not only China, it's happened different place. Like the parents like to set a goal for you. Like when you grow up, you need to be a doctor. You need to be a lawyer. Like they like to do that, and they don't care what you think. Like they don't
Right,
care your
right,
dreams.
right. So they don't choose a husband for you, but they choose a career for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, that's a good parallel.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I have many students like that. I mean, in that situation.
Yeah, I know, but you know. So we turn to number 5. Do you think Romeo is disgustingly the sexual predator?
Predator, a sexual predator.
Predator. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Me too. Absolutely.
Now, yes, let's look at, I'll do a share screen. This is,
Sure.
where are we? Here we go. I have to find the passage. Keyword is, oh, let me think. Uh, there we go. I'll increase the size a bit. Can you read that?
Where?
Okay,
Oh,
let's read the modern English. It's so much easier. Let's just do this part here.
she can she can be touched by the weak and the childish arrows of love. She won't listen to words of love, or let you look at her with loving eyes, or open her lap to receive gifts of God. She's
That's fine.
rich.
That's fine. So we can compare it to the original. Um, it's very close. I'll talk about the difference.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I consider this one of the most disgusting parts in all of Shakespeare.
Uh-huh.
And Romeo is talking about his first girlfriend or his previous girlfriend. What was her name? Rosaline?
Yeah, Rosaline.
Yes, and she was not interested in him. So she was not his girlfriend. He loved her, but she didn't. Um, what does this mean? She would not ope her lap to receive gifts of gold. It's very disgusting. It means that she would not have sex with him for gold, for money. He tried to pay her.
Yeah, I know.
What kind of
So,
14-year-old boy does that? Is it realistic? Probably
yeah.
not. Um, and in the original, uh, it's called saint seducing gold, which is quite a strong insult to the Catholic religion.
Mm-hmm.
Seduced, as if the saints could be seduced by gold, as if they are greedy.
Huh.
So, and I don't even want to talk about the second sentence here. What do you think? Should we talk about it?
You know what? Like, the main point of Romeo, like, he cares about a lot of Rosaline beauty.
Yes.
So, if not speaks that disgusting, like his name, like beauty and if you not have sex with men, like you waste your beauty.
Yes, because your children, you won't have children to continue your beautiful genetics. I don't know.
Wow, so disgusting.
It's quite awful. Okay, next question.
Why do Hollywood and even some teachers treat this play as if it were a romantic
Tragedy. Tragedy, yes. Why? Because the teachers who taught our teachers, the professors who taught the teachers, when they become experts and scholars in Shakespeare, it's always with, we say, rosy glasses or rose-colored glasses. It means, I mean, when you are doing postgraduate studies in university, you choose what you want to study, and you choose normally something you love.
Yeah.
A professor chooses to study Shakespeare because they already love Shakespeare. This means they will never think critically about Shakespeare.
I agree.
And I am quite different. I did my master's thesis on Harry Potter, even though I did not like Harry Potter.
Oh,
So
okay.
I wanted to think and analyze and criticize, and I enjoy that.
Oh, well. So I have same idea, and the university postgrad studies model in deeply further. So
Deeply,
yeah.
what did you say? Deeply,
Full.
deeply flawed?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Do we have another?
Um. Okay. Number 7. What are we supposed to learn from this play according to our school and according to you?
Really tough question. What should we learn? I got it.
Okay. Cool.
If two children commit suicide, they will create peace in the world. Make sense?
Sure. I will take that.
Oh, you're joking. I'm joking. You know, Romeo and Juliet, they belong to feuding families. Families were enemies.
Yeah.
After they commit suicide, the two families said, oh boy, this is terrible. Let's talk politely to each other. No more feuding. Is that realistic?
Well, you know what? Like, yeah, it's kind of strange, you know, like when people are dying and you figure out, oh my God, I'm doing something wrong. Um, it's happened a lot. Like when I lied to my mom, then I got my mom like shot at me, like she's angry with me. Like I will think about like why I lied to my mom. So people are happy have a lot of these problems. So, but
Right.
you know that Italy's are deeply confused and well first of all I like Italy's
Italians.
Italians, yeah, but this play they're
Okay. Um, that's Shakespeare's fault. But I want to go back to the death, the double suicide and the piece that supposedly followed. You compared that to your personal experience when you've done something wrong and your mother is upset, then you feel guilty and you make peace. That is the good daughter. That is a young person. But I don't know any adults who behave that way. And when families and clans and countries are at war, and young people are always dying, especially young men, do they care? They don't
yeah.
care. They keep fighting.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
So I would say myself sorry I was thinking about suicide before I was in China. So this is really story. So yeah, you know what? Because my mom came to Canada, and I live with my stepfather, and then I turned to my grandmother's. So I live with my cousin and grandmother. First of all, I'm not that kind of like loving study student. I like to play video games. I like watch anime like Japanese types, you know. And well, no one can support me. My dream is be an actor. So I always learn in drama, and I have my dream. No one support you. Like,
Yeah,
and I fight a lot with my family. I fight a lot. Me and my grandmother and my uncle, we fight a lot. They don't like me as much as my mom likes me. So
right. What did they
uh,
do? What career did they want you to
they want me be an like nurse. I think
Okay.
nurse or doctor.
Okay.
Well, I think that is a good choice for you and for your future. Like you have good pay, and you can have lots of money, and you can have your time scheduled. You have lots of good things like the government give you. You have holidays, right? But you know that isn't what I want to do. So we fight a lot. I want to suicide before.
Mm,
Then um so thinking about suicide is not that bad, but you a lot of people they cannot do that because they're afraid to die. Me too. So I try to talk with myself like you have your dreams, right? You have different things to see in the world, so you cannot die in here. And well, it happens a lot in China and Japan because people because of the stress and they,
exactly.
yeah, so
Yeah,
there happen a lot to suicide. So
I understand.
mm-hmm.
I lived in Korea, South Korea, for 3 years,
Yeah,
right?
um,
They also have high suicide rate among students, uh,
yeah,
and the stress is enormous.
and the bullying happens a lot.
I see. Yeah, and that is the main reason parents bring their children here. They are, I think they are education refugees.
Yeah,
It's just too stressful, and maybe they think there's a better career here. I'm not sure. I think many are discovering now that actually there's more career opportunities in Asia than in North America, but at least there's less stress.
yeah. Before my mom always want to go to the United States. Like she loved United States. She told me like she can earn lots of money at United States. And because I love Japan, so I always want to go to Japan. So
Mhm.
um well it's different way. Then my mom got like Canada like the Canada say like you can working at Canada and like 2 years your daughter can come. Then my mom choose to Canada. So that is I think I'm so lucky to be here. Like all different people, like different Chinese people in the Canada, you guys are really lucky, and
Right.
yeah, it's really lucky, I think.
Yeah. I want to discuss one last topic.
Sure.
I think we finished the questions on the sheet.
There's last one.
Okay, do that one too.
Finally, how is Romeo and Juliet relevant to our convenience situations?
Oh, yes. Well, that's exactly what I want to talk about. And you reminded me when you talked about nursing and doctors.
Yeah.
We are living in the corona drama right now.
I want to go outside. I
Uh,
want to eat. I want to eat. I want to drink bubble tea.
have you tried your little window yet?
Uh-uh.
Yeah.
Well, I'm doing some jogging, yeah, and some fitness exercise.
outside.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, earlier today, I spoke to a grade 10 boy. He has studied with me for 3 years, and he said his parents say absolutely no, no outside. So,
My mom told me like you can go outside and just be careful and
oh, good.
use the alcohol. No, what's it called?
The I forget, but yeah, disinfectant.
Oh. Yeah, I don't know that too.
Yeah. Anyway, so that poor boy, he's been in his house for over a month, I think. Ah, I know. Now, by the way, a little point that's not usually discussed much is the plague, the disease mentioned in Romeo and Juliet. Do you remember?
Hmm. Copyright?
There's lots of references to plagues. Plagues are very, like almost pandemics.
Oh yeah.
I'm looking for the right one. There we, that's not it either. That's crazy Mercutio again. Where was that? Friar John. Do you remember? Friar John received a letter from Friar Lawrence.
Oh, because of like there are people dying, so no one, so Romeo didn't got the letter.
Right. I'm looking for that spot. People were dying of a plague, a disease. And the Friar John was forced into quarantine with the rest of the village. There we are. It's somewhere around here. There. When I found him, the town health officials suspected that we were both in a house that had been hit with the plague. They quarantined the house, sealed up the doors, and refused to let us out. Wow. Almost our world.
Yeah, it's really our world.
Um,
And this part, uh, because of this, so we cannot go outside, and Romeo didn't got the. Oh, what's this?
this is a list of plagues, of pandemics or epidemics
Oh my God.
throughout history, right? So we have 1200 BC, then 500 AD, 700, 1300, the big Black Death plague. And then you can see that more and more plagues. 1700s, there are almost 20 or 30.
Oh my God.
And as we get closer to our time, more and more plagues. What's happening? Why more plagues? Why more disease? Are we making progress or regress?
Hmm.
Now we have multiple ones. Of course, the population on Earth is much bigger now.
Yeah.
If we make progress, we should be healthier, stronger.
People are like eating like junk food, and they don't know what is healthy.
Yes, our food is not so healthy anymore. Our environment is not so healthy, right? Thanks to all the chemical engineers, we have 20, I don't know, 30,000 chemicals that are not healthy for us.
Yeah.
Wi-Fi. I'm trying to avoid my computer as much as possible. My cell phone is a short distance away.
Yeah.
Now, I wonder, did Shakespeare care about the sick people?
No.
No, it's just for drama. It's just for the plot.
Mm-hmm.
Does he have do any of his plays tell us how to be healthy? Well,
No.
you're right. I haven't read all the plays. I may have read 12, 14 plays. Maybe you've read 2 or 3.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
3.
But I'm familiar with his style and
I know.
literature generally. It's not practical. And honestly, Shakespeare just didn't care.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's true.
he is not living in a village. He was a wealthy man. And I don't know, disease and health were not on his mind.
But he always thinks he's right.
Absolutely. And then he's very biased. And he's, let's be honest, he's disgusting.
Sure, he is disgusting.
Yeah, he makes disgusting characters. I'm sorry, then you are disgusting.
Yeah, that's true.
Any final words? That was a very amazing podcast. I didn't expect some of your ideas.
You too.
Thank you very
Well,
much.
I like to share with my ideas and talk about like how bad Romeo and Juliet is.
How, pardon?
How bad Romeo and Juliet.
How bad they are, indeed. And you're very expressive and open.
Yeah, I am.
Master the English language, and I'll continue helping you. Thank you.
Thank you.
And good night.
Good night.